world and go back to Europe. They claim that they're indigenous, but they all came from Europe. Leave Palestine alone, use terrorists, rebel news.
And so this week, when there was a pro-Israel rally in support of Israel's National Day, Israel's independence, there was a massive anti-Israel rally at the same time, right across the street. And in the middle was our reporter, Alexa Lavoie. She joins us now via Skype. Alexa, great to see you again.
Great to see you too.
You know, there's been a lot of battles in Montreal, and in fact, some of the craziest things so far have happened. The attempt to shoot a school or a synagogue. Actually, it wasn't an attempt. They did shoot a school or synagogue. There was a Molotov cocktail thrown there. So there have been kinds of violence in Montreal we haven't seen elsewhere. We've also seen massive street rallies larger than anywhere else in the country, where jihadists have basically had open air rallies calling for support of Hamas. It really is the most hardcore pro-Hamas city in Canada, don't you think?
I think so, but I think also we need to don't forget that Montreal is also a place where we have the most people from the radical left. I'm talking about Antifa, Black Bloc. We have also like anarchists, a lot of people emerging from the radical left wing in terms of politics, and that those people have merged with the radical leftists, I would say.
I think I'm so glad you said that, and it's true. Antifa is the most organized there. I would say they're the most violent there. Antifa from Montreal, in fact, are often shipped by bus to Ottawa to form the backbone of left-wing protests. So I think what you're saying is, yes, there are Arab and Muslim activists who support Hamas, but they are in an alliance with Antifa, with communists, with hard leftists. So you're saying it's a coalition.
It is, clearly, because most of the students that we see in those encampments are not the one that will usually be pro-Palestine or anything else like that, you know. Most of them didn't raise their voice when multiple Arab was killed across the Arabic country around the world. It's just that now they want to grow their agenda, and they found the perfect story for them. And what we see so far is like their movement, they were right, because their movement is growing and growing as a fast speed.
So tell me the demographics at the protest. I've been to protests in different cities, and you have too. I remember you went to London, England, and if I saw correctly, and I was there once too, I would say about 80 to 90% of the protesters in London, England are new immigrants from Muslim places, including Pakistan, for example. When I was at Columbia, I would say it's the opposite. 80 or 90% of the protesters were white, liberal, rich kids who found this the cause du jour. What's the demographic mix when you were there this week at the dueling protests? Who was on the pro-Hamas side? Were they foreigners? Were they woke activists? Were they Antifa? Like, who were they? What did they look like?
So they were not that many, because most of them are protecting probably the encampment right now, because there is some threat against them to being removed. So they were not that many. But what I can say is, like, the main people in charge chanting slogan are Arabic, are emerging from Arabic country. I don't know if they are Canadian citizen or they are just here temporary. Only government know about it. But the person in charge of the leading are most of the time people who are Arabic themselves. They are Muslim. And the other one who are following are mostly white student, white people from Quebec, and some of them are also immigrant. It's like a mix, I would say. enough, or sometimes it's really hard because something that is different in Montreal, almost everybody wear a mask and wear like cafe around their face. So it's really difficult to know who they are.
Right. I really think we've set our society back years by normalizing the wearing of masks. I mean, other than if you're a welder or if it's minus 30 and you have to go outside on a snowmobile, I think the idea of wearing a mask is antisocial, and it serves obviously to keep secret the identity of people who are doing illegal things. That's why bank robbers wear masks. They're not protecting themselves from the cold. I think we've done a terrible thing by normalizing masks again. Tell me about some of your particular interactions. What bothered me, amongst other things, was that Montreal's police obviously found it easier to manhandle you and boss you around and move you around as a journalist than to do so for these Hamas supporters. Tell us a bit of that, and we'll play a video clip of the police pushing around and even hitting you.
So I caught the crowds chanting one of the most anti-Semitic slogans that they were calling like, or you say you're native, but you're all from Europe, so go back to Europe. And they were chanting slogan like that to the Israeli crowd in front of them. So I caught them chanting that, and they were not that happy. So afterwards, they came after me and saying, oh, that rebel news are terrorists and that we are spreading disinformation. And afterwards, they came outside of the perimeter that the police have put in place. And they were coming towards me, blocking my camera. And not only the police like say, okay, you need to go back to your perimeter, guys, but they pushed me away. Me that I have supposedly free press in Canada, who I'm doing my job as questioning people why they are here and just basic question. They say to me that I am provoking attention there, that I need to go to the corner of the street where it's impossible for me to do my job properly. And you know what? Nothing have happened. I was just interviewing the leader of the Natural Carta that request me to say some word on camera. So I didn't go in his face or ask him for an interview. He actually bring one of his guys to say, I want to say my point of view. I say, okay, I'm here to show all sides of the story. And afterwards, it became really aggressive and violent on their side. So I had no choice. I needed to go a little bit further. And I was just recording an update. And not only the police got handy with me, but one of them hit my back. And I was really mad because I was like, how dare you to hit a journalist in the back?
And to hit a woman. I mean, not that, I mean, it's just, there's something gross about it. There's something gratuitous. There's something bullying about it. Here, let's play that clip. A lot of things in this clip make me mad. Take a look.
And go back to Europe. They claim that they're indigenous, but they all came from Europe. Leave Palestine alone. Leave Palestine alone. Leave Palestine alone and go back to Europe.
When most of them are Canadian citizens, and you know what? I filmed them saying that I want to expose them, and they saw that they started to chant against Rebel News, and they were passing through the fence to come toward us to block our camera.
Hey, Rebel News, we know you're a liar too. Hey, move away, Rebel News. Get out of here, Rebel News. Stop recording. Stop recording, you liar. Stop recording, you liar. Back up. Back up. Fake news. We don't deal with fake news over here. We don't deal with fake news. Hey, she's harassing us. They're harassing us. Shame on you. 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 Shame on you, guys.
And you know what the police did? No, they not only ask them to go back inside of the square, like the perimeter, but they push us away. They ask us to go all the way down to the corner of the street where I cannot do my job as a journalist. So you see, now they are blocking us instead of doing something and asking them to not to come toward us, to harass us and to threatening us. So this is just hilarious. Anyway, this is ridiculous. So you see, like, I had no problem on the side of the Israelis, so I can show you the other side of the street. It's pretty peaceful. They are celebrating their Independence Day today, but we have this counter-protester that are chanting anti-Semitic slogan. But can you touch me, please? Can you touch? I have the freedom to do whatever I want. This is public space. I was doing my job. You have no. Hey, you just stood up. I felt you, huh? You freaking hit me in my back when you passed. Coward. Wow, he hit me on my back passing by. You see how the Montreal police is acting with us? This is ridiculous.